All right, Hans Thomas, firehype.com. Here with my guy, Teofimo Lopez Sr. How you feeling tonight, brother?
I'm feeling great, bro.
All right,
You
man.
know,
You know,
I knew this shit was gonna happen because I said, yo, if Devin gets away from him and wins, he's gonna win by points.
mm,
If Ryan catches it with that left hook, that motherfucker gonna be in trouble
mm,
because we had already done that shit to him in sparring. And I even said it in the Mike Tyson show when he was on live. He went on the phone lying about that. He beat the shit out of my son in sparring. I said, motherfucker, karma's gonna come and hit you, you fucking fake motherfucker. Because the thing is, I ain't fake.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say the truth all the time. We gave him that fucking kid. We made him who he was. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Combosas fight.
Mm,
We made him who he was. That's why they were jumping up and down in the living room, fucking throwing themselves on the floor when we lost, supposedly.
mm,
Because you can't beat a champion the way they took that from us. My son had that motherfucker hurt. You know what I'm saying? When my son gets dropped on that second round, he was panicking because that shit hit him hard. You
mm.
know, he wasn't getting no oxygen inside his lungs. And he came to the second round. Before the second round, he sat down and I said, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? We supposed to box this dude." And my son says, "Dad, I can't fucking box. I can't breathe." And it was like he said it was weird. He said like the more I attacked him and I was busier, the less I felt the pain.
Mm.
So then fourth round he tells me he was angry, he was pissed. He was like, "Yo, that motherfucker no. I'm dying in there." He could hear me. And that motivated Combos. Combos is the fucking easiest fight that you can have. When Devin took that shit, I told my son, well, we knew already that he was gonna beat him,
But
you know?
but let me ask you this, like going into the fight between Devin and Ryan, were you taking Devin to win the fight straight up, or did you think Ryan was gonna get?
Everybody thought he was gonna win if he stood away from him. But I said if he gets tagged by that left hook, because Devin is chinny, and everybody knew that, right? When he goes into the fight, the only way Devin's gonna win is by points. And he almost lost. A judge had him tied.
Yeah.
They wanted this kid to be the next Floyd, bro.
Mm,
And they couldn't take that away from Ryan. Ryan went in there with the spirit of God, bro. I know how it feels because that's the way my son is. My son has been saying this shit before Ryan for the longest. And they were telling him that he had fucking mental problems, that somebody had to see him because he was exposing all these fucking crazy motherfuckers. They call us crazy, but because we know the knowledge, we know everything. We know what the fuck is happening because we're in this world, bro. My
yeah.
son is already blackballed. They didn't even mention him in the fight when he's the king. You know,
When
he's
you
got the lean belt.
when you look at
Or ain't
the
nobody fighting.
For sure. But when you look at that first round, man, and obviously, everybody knows that Ryan has a great left hook. And that was actually the first punch that he
That was
threw.
the only thing that I said. If Ryan catches him with that left hook, it's over.
But were you
Because I
were,
know Devin cannot take a punch, and Devin can't punch.
but were you at
No,
least were you at least surprised that that was the first shot that he got caught with, and especially because it was in the first
not
round.
at all. Not at all. Not at all, because it could have happened in any round.
Mm,
And that's why I believed in Ryan. Because Ryan could hit you with that left hook, you're in big trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that the kid is gifted with power.
yeah.
I mean, he's not like the prettiest fighter out there. You know what I'm saying? And I've said it all the time. My son is like the prettiest fighter out there. You know what I'm saying? He's never off balance. He fights beautiful. You know, and he's done things that nobody's ever done. He's 11-time world champion. You know, Ryan has no belts.
Was it
Huh?
Was it worth like do you think Devin can bounce back from that or do you
Never,
never
ever,
you think the
never
beating
and ever. And I said this shit 4 years ago.
mm,
All these called out motherfuckers that they got, like Shakur, Devin, Tank, all these guys, when they start stepping it up to a to the because they can't make the weight and they start going up on weight. I said this, bro. In a lot of interviews. I said that's when we're gonna know. That's when they're gonna feel it because what Tank does. That's why Tank always loses like 5, 6 rounds in the beginning because he wants to feel your power. He wants to taste it. Once he feels that you ain't got nothing, that's when he comes and takes you out. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? That's not gonna happen with my son. Because my son cracks you, bro, you're in trouble. That's why you see Jermaine Ortiz running the whole motherfucking fight. That wasn't boxing. That was
granted
running.
granted you're saying that Devin won't ever be the same,
No,
but
he's done.
if you look at it though, if we're being honest here, your son against Devin was it would have been one of the biggest fights in boxing.
My
Is
son
that
would have knocked him out.
but is that fight officially off the table now?
He lied about the sparring, bro. He lied about the sparring. He said he had the best out of my son when the motherfucker quit in the 5th round. He lied about that. He went down, he sat down with his fucking headgear and his glove. He remembers that shit. He's traumatized about it. He stood there like frozen. And
But
while I was talking to Floyd Senior and a lot of other guys taking pictures, and that motherfucker was in the corner sitting down, like reminiscing, thinking like because his father gives him that motivation, and that's why he goes up 27 pounds because he wants to always have the edge. My son never goes over 10 pounds, and my son never had told anybody, not to go up. We fought Josh Taylor at 67, 167.
but
You know why? Because the bigger you are, the slower you are.
do you think that a fight between your son and Devin Haney will still happen down the line?
It's not gonna happen. No time soon. They might do it out of desperation,
Mm.
but the king right now is my son at 140. Ain't nobody calling him. They didn't even mention him.
So is Ryan Garcia now the big target for you guys, even though he doesn't have the WBC belt,
He
but
ain't gonna
it's
fight us. He ain't gonna fight us because he's the same like my son. They believe in God. They believe of what's happening in this earth. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people they call them crazy. Who was talking about all that shit before Ryan? My son. Oh, he got mental issues. We don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because they believe in numbers. They believe in what's happening. They believe in fucking the shit they're doing to the kids in the world, kidnapping them, raping them, fucking all this shit. This shit is all evil, bro. And my son exploited that before Ryan. Oh, but they started calling my son crazy. He's got issues. And the big corporations fucking left him because of that.
I mean,
Because my son was the first signee, the first boxer to sign with Bud Light. You knew that, right?
yeah, for sure.
And then what happened? They make a big deal with Top Rank right after my son signs with them. The biggest asses that Top Rank has right now is Teofimo Lopez. Why? They don't believe in Shakur Stevenson no more because they see the kid don't like to get hit.
So
He
I,
could do whatever the fuck it is. That Santos fight, that shit went, that shit took a lot of fucking believing in that kid.
wait, but before we shift over to Shakur, I know you said that your son and Ryan probably won't fight because of their religious beliefs, but is
He
that the
said
fight?
it already. He ain't fighting at 140. He said it's over. He going up. We could fight him at a catch weight. I texted Oscar before the fight was over.
Mm.
I said Ryan and Teofimo gotta happen, you know?
How
And yeah,
is that fight more of a difficult fight for your son stylistically than Devin would have
never.
been? or Matias would have been. Do you think it's a difficult fight for your son, or do
Bro,
you think it's a
you
walk in the park?
cannot beat my son with just one punch. You got to have a lot of fucking, different styles and different things.
Mm.
My son don't fight like that. My son fights tall. He fights tall. We call that shit the pyramid. When my son fought Gambosos, that was in my son.
So
You know, and we still won that fight because we were the champions. We had all the belts, and we hurt that motherfucker in the 10th round. They never show that fucking knockdown. You ever seen that knockdown?
I did.
But they
I
don't show.
let me ask you this. I know that you and the Haneys have, you guys have never really seen eye to eye. But if you were to talk to Devin Haney and Bill Haney, like if they seen this interview, like what would you kind of what do you think should be their next move?
They just gotta. Yeah. To me, I feel like Devin has problems. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, I think that he needs to be doing something. If he doesn't, he goes crazy. The kid is gifted, and you know what gifted I'm talking about,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That's why he's always in the gym. That's why he's always what you call it, ready. But one thing he don't have is punching power, and he don't got a chin. And if you don't have those two things in boxing, and I said it, you're in trouble
Yeah.
because they're not gonna respect you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with Ryan. Ryan went in there to win. He was confident. He knew what he had. He knew what he could do. And when you're fighting a guy that can't knock nobody out, bro, why are you gonna be scared of him? He believed in him. I really truly believe that God was with him that night. I mean, even if God wasn't, he believed it. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
He fucking he did like what's the name of that freaking movie? Um, you should suspect something like that,
Okay.
something like that. But like when you think it's somebody and it's not, he lied to everybody. He tricked everybody, but he didn't lie about his beliefs because he experienced them. You know what it takes for a man to say that he got raped on
Hmm.
national TV?
Yeah.
That was God speaking, bro. And that's why I like the kid because he don't lie. He says the truth.
When
You know what I'm saying?
let me ask you another question about Haney real quick. Because since Ryan came into the fight at 143.2 pounds, came 3.2 pounds over.
That has nothing to do because the Evan goes up
Well,
27.
well, no, I wasn't even gonna ask you about that. But I was gonna say since he came in over, he wasn't able to win the belt. So Devin still has the belt. Like, is it like do you think it'll be difficult for Devin to look himself in the mirror and say, I'm still a champion, even though he
He
just
already did. He's done that shit before. When
mm,
they email him that fucking WBC belt,
okay.
he ain't got no fucking pride in himself, man. He'll do whatever it takes for him to get what he wants. And that's why that's why karma caught up to him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
I'm not sure if you saw it, but Ryan pretty much called out a lot of people. He did say he wants to move up to welterweight, and he said, he's down to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. How do you think a fight like that plays out, man? Hello? Here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Did you hear my question, or did you need me to repeat it?
No, I heard it. The thing is that Devin's gonna do what Devin does and whatever the fuck his father says. They still want to be in the game. They still want to make money. So, he said he was gonna let go of the WBC belt once he beat Ryan, and that didn't happen. So,
No, I don't think he ever said that. I believe he wanted to become undisputed at 140 as well.
mm-mm. He said that before. Then he
Mm.
said he ain't fighting San Martin because there's no money in it. So he was gonna let go of the WBC
But
once he beat. once he beat Ryan.
But what do you think about Ryan Garcia saying that he will probably move up to 147 pounds and he wants to fight Jerron Boots Ennis? What do you think about that fight, man?
Well, I believe it.
You think who would you take in that one?
I believe it. I'll still go with Ryan because listen, even though he doesn't fight like no, Boots has got a better style, but Ryan got that monstrous left hook. You get hit with that shit, the whole fucking fight changes.
So you think he'll beat Jerron Boots Ennis
He
right
could.
now?
Of course he can.
Okay.
Why not? And people shouldn't even be doubting that right now.
Okay.
I mean, he just shook the whole world, man. Just like we did with Loma, just like we did with Josh Taylor. No difference.
Fair enough.
No.
Where do you stack like Shakur Stevenson in the mix? Like, do you think Shakur on that level with a Ryan Garcia? Or you think that he's
Corey's not gonna make it. I said this before because you gotta have something to go up in the ranks. He's growing. He's got to go up to 140. He's got to go up to 147. People are not gonna respect his power, no matter how good of a boxer he is. They're gonna walk him down.
hmm,
That's what Santos was doing, and the whole the whole world saw that he don't like getting hit. In
okay,
this game, you gotta have balls, man,
okay.
and he didn't show those balls.
Fair enough. I know you're saying that the fight between you guys and Devin Haney is like pretty much off the table for the foreseeable future, but like I'm I guess I'm just trying to understand more so why, because sure Devin has a loss now, but he's still a terrific fighter. He's a part of the whole, the he's part of like the four kings, or I really want to say five kings, but your son, Ryan
Guys, he's
Garcia,
done. He's
Tio,
done. He's done.
Devontae, he's still there with you guys. So what
He's done.
you
He's
don't think
done.
it'll be a good name
That
for
was a
to fight?
beating, man. That was a fucking beating. You
Mm,
know how hard it is to come from that?
okay.
Fucking hard. My son has never been wobbled in his life. 178 amateur fights, never been wobbled.
I mean,
He's
he
been dropped, but he's never been wobbled.
okay.
You know, Devin looked like he was dying in there.
Okay. Is there
Oh,
any what can I mean, you've been a great trainer for several years now. What can you tell Devin? Like, is there anything that Devin can do to try to like, work on his game and try to get better, man? Like, what can he do? Or you think there's nothing he could do pretty much?
no, he has to start fighting the top 20 guys.
He has to stop?
Yeah, and start getting his what you call it, his confidence back. Because right now that kid is destroyed.
Hmm.
Mm. That fight with Cabosos, we didn't lose. My son had all the belts, and we beat that boy the last rounds.
Hmm.
He almost didn't get up. He didn't do that to my son. You
Is,
know,
is
so Devin just got to rest. Devin got to fucking realize that he ain't the best. He ain't no Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Like his father had him too high, and that's
so
what happens, man.
Tio, let me ask you this. And I know you're saying that you guys didn't lose to Cambosos.
Mm.
It was a close fight.
Yo, it's 2-1.
No, but look,
Two to
this
one. Both judges had it 13-15, 113-15. And the other judge had us winning like 119 to 111.
but this is what I'm asking you. Because, there were a lot of people that believe that you guys won the fight. That's
Of
fair.
course we won that fight because he was the king.
Wait. Let me
You
let,
gotta
let me
take it, but I'm saying you gotta take it from the
But
world
wait,
champion, right?
wait. I'm trying to get to my question. I'm trying to get to my question.
Yeah.
Wait. So what I'm saying is a lot of people thought that you guys actually won the fight, right? But when you guys don't win the fight, like what did you say to your son following that loss? Like, is there any words that you think I'm trying to get to? Is there any words of encouragement that you think Bill can probably go back and say to his son, similar to what you told your son?
The difference is that we knew we didn't lose. We knew the condition he had. I almost lost him. He was in the hospital for a year because he had to heal. Oxygen levels were like 67. Yeah,
Mm,
50% chances of living. There was a Mark Rigo, talking to the doctor, and they say that they couldn't believe that this kid did 12 rounds in his condition. That means he had no air in his lungs. That's what makes an athlete,
yeah,
and he fought with a broken elbow. And we don't fucking talk about that shit, you know? You could, no fighter goes in there perfect. They always have fucking issues or whatever it is. But not having oxygen in your lungs,
yeah.
and that shit crazy. And I tried to stop the fight like 5 times, and he didn't let me.